Hey guys, just a quick look here. This is the beginning of my install of my Ultrex. Taking off the Fortrex here. As you can tell, I've already started on it, but I figured I'd do a little before. I've already cut off the wires and things like that. So just giving you an idea. If you want to understand, it should be the same bolt pattern and everything. So I got the front console off the Ranger here. It's a 2005 Z21, and I'm starting to take things apart. So I'll get a few videos here. So we got the Ultrex 112 36 volt laying out here. Got the Fortrex off of the boat. Got some of the parts all sparsed out here. But first step is to take the mounting block and put it here. Put it up on a elevated surface, and then use a 1/4 inch Allen wrench and take this bolt out. And then you seat the actual trolling motor down and put the bolt back on. So I'm gonna get that done. All right, so I wound up setting it up here. As you can tell, it sort of sits down right back on top, seats in, and then you put the Allen wrench, the Allen bolt back in. I sort of used my step as a rest here, if you don't have anybody to help you. My only helper is a little too little to be lifting up something this heavy. So okay, so I'm beginning to run out of daylight here, so I'll probably finish up tomorrow. But as you can see, I had it up here, did the release, laid the motor back, lined up the holes with the existing Fortrex holes. You know, if you're not installing, you'd have to drill your own, line your own up, but it goes right in the same spot as the old Fortrex. Got a couple screws already in there, semi-loose. 2 more screws will go in here, and then you connect the gas pin. So I'll get you some video on the gas pin connection and all that coming up, and then routing and mounting the pedal. And then there is a Bluetooth, it looks a lot like a GPS sensor, but it's a Bluetooth piece to give you your heading sensor. And I will make use of an old mount spot that I've had here for a long time. When I switched over to Lowrance, I left this here from my Hummingbird units because I mounted everything up in the dash. So I'm going to take the top off here and just mount that sensor right there, run it down to power, and that gives you pretty much everything. All right, guys, got a couple more things done here. I'll show you the whole pattern lined up perfectly. Just had to, you know, go through the normal stretch of the arm to get up under there and get everything. I'm getting ready to hook up the assist here, which is pretty simple. It just comes back up in here, you line it up, it's got a part that goes through. It's very simple to work with. Getting ready to do it, I'll show you that. And while I was out here, I went ahead and hooked up the prop and my eliminator nut on the back. That's an extra part from TH Marine, but I used it on my old one, so I've got it on this one. So next things left to do is pretty straightforward. I have you know, taken apart, routed my cable under. Just got to poke this cable through. I've got a hole there, so I got to poke this cable through the grommet and stuff that's up under there. Comes up into I've got a wiring box here, drawn it into, and make the connection, and then I'll close all this up, and then it's time to start running the transducer cable and all that stuff and running it down. But I'll aim to fasten down the step there, the foot control. So more to come. Just keeping you guys abreast. So far it's just like installing the Fortrex. Looks like the only difference is going to be the heading sensor, which I'll show you as we get there, and the remote control and things are still attached, as you can tell. Okay guys, wanted to give you an update here. Got the gas spring installed, so that's pretty easy. It comes with a rod that goes all the way through, 2 spacers that go on each side of the actual gas assembly. So all you do is you feed that through, and then there's 2 screws that go in from each side. Very simple to do, and that gives you your gas lift assist. Don't make when you are tightening this down, don't make the mistake that I made. I wasn't paying attention to my strap and left it way too far on the other side, and so all the Velcro was underneath, so I had to take everything apart and go back in and loosen those up and pull it back through, just because I wasn't paying attention there. But everything's in now. I got the pedal mounted. This is an 05 Z21, and it was a tight fit to get it in there, but it fits in there perfect. It's actually really nice. The height of it is really nice. So I'm on to the next steps. Looks like there's some steps here for indexing the motor, as they call it, which is basically where you put the trolling motor down, and then you align the head of this unit. You turn it on and align the head of this unit where it's pointing straight forward, straight off the keel of the boat. And then you either go inside of here and disconnect power, and then put power back on. So it's sort of a reset that'll set it back to that section. But with me, I'm lucky I have a breaker in the back of the boat, so I can do that process and flip the breaker. But more of that to come, and I might be able to film some of that depending on if my wife gets home in time to help you know, stabilize things here or film for me. So more coming. So far it's been a really easy install. I've done it all by myself, so definitely something you can tackle. Hey YouTube, I wanted to give you sort of the finals here. Got everything connected up, everything's working, and I wanted to give you a couple of pointers here. As I just stated in the previous part of this video, the directions go through a section of essentially, you know, tuning the motor, basically to get it straight with your pedal. Mine came already straight, so the directions make it look like you need to do this, but for me, I didn't. I'm assuming they all come this way, but just in case, I'm going to walk through what I learned from reading and going through the directions. So what you're supposed to do is, you know, with your boat parked, go ahead and deploy the trolling motor, and then right on top of the trolling motor, if you look here, there's a box, a little opening. You pop a screwdriver in there, pop it open. There are two plugs in there plugged together. Take them apart to get rid of power, and then there's two screws in the bottom. You take the two screws off, and this entire piece here pulls up, exposing two gears. The main gear is back here that we're going to work with. What you do is you then go to your trolling motor foot pedal, and there's a tension screw underneath here that you can loosen to make it easy and take some of the tension off of the cables. They say to be mindful of how many times you turn it to loosen it to the left, because you'll need to turn it that many on the way back to tighten it. You then come up here to the front, and this back gear has that cable coming up and wound around it tightly around a spindle. You pick that spindle up, keeping tension on the wire, and you turn this. Right, this will be turned straight. You want to get this aligned straight with your boat. But then when you lift that spindle up, you reach under it and turn the actual gear until your pedal goes flat with the deck of the boat, very much like this. That should equal straight. So once this gets flat, you then slide that gear back on, and you now have your pedal adjusted to where your trolling motor is straight when you're flat. That's the way it's supposed to be. You could set it up any way you want in your boat, but I think that's the most realistic, because then you're standing on a flat surface when you're going forward. You then put the screws back, you slide the spindle down onto the gear, put the screws back in, put the top on, tighten back up the tension bar, and you're set. But that puts your motor straight. I did mine straight from up on the boat, but then I also noticed when you deploy it, if you want to, you can also just look down and line your actual trolling motor up with the frame of your trailer going back and forth. That'll give you a straight line reference to get it on too. But other than that, it works great. I've got power, everything's running. I will say this, just so you know, when I got mine hooked up, I hit the button and nothing worked, and I was wondering what was going on. This it looks like this does not give power when it is in the upright position. So let me get it clear here, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So right now, if I've got it on, I can hit it, and plenty of power going down there. But it fooled me a little bit. Hold on, it's hard to do from this angle. When it's deployed and locked, hitting the button does nothing. I thought I had something hooked up wrong, but once it was laid down, it did good. So I like that. That's a protective feature, a little protection for you there. All right, I know this is a long video, but I wanted to sort of put something up here so you guys could see the install and see what was going on. There was nothing on YouTube when I started. Looking forward to it, and I'll get you guys some videos on the water here shortly.